Hello everyone. We are here with Red Rocket today because it is time to get these brakes finished up and get this fuel cell mounted. So already done a couple of things on the fuel cell, mostly preparation, but let's check it out. Alright, I've already got my angle iron pieces that I'm going to be welding together in my carport, ready to be welded. These are just stand-in pieces to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to have two pieces of angle iron going the full width of the frame on front and back. And I'm going to have another piece that will be welded like this on both sides that is going to be replacing the original bottom strap right here for the hold downs. Hang on. There you go, much better. Yeah, this is the original bottom piece for the for the fuel cell hold downs. So I'm replacing this with angle iron so it won't bend whenever I tighten down. Plus, with this being welded like this on both sides, it will cradle the frame perfectly, and I can attach the fuel cell bracket to the frame and actually have it removable. If I ever have to service stuff or change it out or look at something, I can always take this out as an assembly and not have to worry about it. Then it's going to be the brake line. I'm actually going to be using this piece because it's the perfect width inside to inside. And I'm going to be welding these to it like that and drill a hole through the angle iron after I have the bracket made and mounted, so I can drill and mount the fitting right here, and then it's going down to the rear end. Then after that, it's tightening up all those brake fittings and bleeding the brakes. Really excited about that. I've got something that is supposed to be delivered today that should help me pressure bleed the brakes, kind of like I did the clutch on the Porsche. But let's get to welding. Alright, well, here is the brackets. This one's fully welded. Just need to drill the holes and bolt it to the frame, and then drill the hole in this part for this fitting to go through and actually clip on. This is just tacked together for now so I could make sure that the bracket was good, and I am very happy with it. Mostly because if I ever have to, I can unbolt it and then slide it back to work on it or take it out or whatever. I just need to I'm gonna drill a hole on the bottom right there on all four corners, right there, and on the front. And then we'll transfer that to the frame and then drill it. I did have to drop my fuel pump down about 1 inch to clear the angle iron, but everything's looking good. I'm gonna trim out a little bit more of this right here because it is kind of in the way. I think that side might be okay. I'm gonna have to trim out a tiny bit more on this side so the whole bracket can actually slide up under. But it's looking good. Now I just need to fully weld that thing and then drill some holes. Well, it is later in the day. I got sidetracked with other things and I got a few things done. The fuel cell mounting bracket is officially completed. I've got it bolted to the frame. I didn't have it all the way back. I do have it pulled back a little bit, and I'm gonna have to cut out a little relief for the bolts whenever I do have the bolts on for the strap, so the strap can go through, and then I'll just create a ledge for it back there. Same thing kind of for the front. When it comes to that piece butting up to this, I may have to cut out a little piece and then make a little ledge for it so it can still butt up as close as it can. But this is on. All the brake lines are tight. Everything's tight. Now it's time to have fun with my new attachment for my pressure bleeder. So let me get everything set up and see how it goes. I bought this adapter here from Motive Products, also where my pressure bleeder's from, and it has 2 ports on the bottom, and those ports were perfect for the top of the reservoir. And I filled up the reservoirs and pressured it up, and it looks like it's holding pressure. It was going down a little bit earlier, but everything looks like it's holding pressure. I think I had a bad seal over here, but seeing as that's not, I don't think that's going down, I'm gonna call that a good sign. So let me get these brakes bled and see what happens. I am not exaggerating when I say this. Literally not even 5 minutes after this pressure bleeder was hooked up to this master cylinder, the brakes were bled with a completely bone dry system. Literally 5 minutes after this thing was hooked up, and I'm done. And the Red Rocket has brakes. Let's get this wheel spinning. The Red Rocket has brakes. You know what that means? It's time to get this 440 fired back up and get this thing moving around. So now I need to fill up everything. I still haven't put fluid everywhere. The rear end needs fluid, transmission needs fluid, and engine's got oil. Probably needs a little bit more. But this thing is ready to fire up. It's ready to move under its own power. So that'll be in the next video. I'm gonna get everything topped out and wire this engine up and see if we can get this thing moving around. Red Rocket brake system officially done. Don't have the line lock installed because I need to get my dashboard installed before I can hook up my manual line lock on the dashboard. Then I can hook that up, but brakes are done. Fuel cell bracket is done. And most importantly, I think I did about 10 or so flares with my new flaring tool. It's really compact. I've actually put together a little kit. Let me go and show that to you. I have put together this little tool kit for my brake line flaring. Since I had to do so much on this project, I figured it was good to put together a little kit. So let me show you everything I got in here. Alright, the other thing is my manual line lock. Okay, what we got here is a dedicated 3/16 brake line flaring tool. Works with the NICOP lines, which is what I'm using here, and steel. This is a stop to go in the end to push the line in to butt up against, and then there's the die to actually do the actual flaring. And here's some lubricant. There's probably just some wheel bearing grease for the die. And here I got this on Amazon. I found this on Amazon. It's pretty cool. This is a very compact, very small deburring tool for the inside and the outside, and it collapses to like 4 something inches long, 4 or 5 something inches long. Crescent wrench, a small tubing cutter, and a wrench for these nuts here. Now, whenever I need to flare a line, I can just grab my flaring kit, and this here, I forget the brand, but I found it on Amazon. It's a very compact flaring tool that I freaking love. I love this thing. Anytime now I need to flare a line, which is not going to be often, to be honest, but anytime I need to, I just grab my kit and I got everything I need. And I gotta say, after doing about 10 or so flares on this system, so far, fingers crossed, I don't have a single leak. I had this pressurized to about 10 psi, 10 to 15 psi, and after bleeding the lines, I haven't seen a single drip. And pumping the pedal a little bit, testing the brakes, I haven't seen a single drip anywhere, which I'm contributing to these NICOP lines, because they are a little bit more pliable. So I think they're a little bit more forgiving for slight mistakes in when you do your flares. But the brake system is pretty much done, minus the line lock, and this thing's ready to move under its own power. So that'll be on the next video. Select the video, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.